Hello, this is Julie. I have been promising an eBay sales update for a while, so I chose some things from my March and April sales that I wanted to share with you and share some of the things that I have learned, as I still consider myself a newbie, having only started at the end of August of 2015. So, like I've stated before, I like to find plus size clothing, nice clothes, and they do pretty well. Here was a Caribbean Joe sundress, a real nice quality 2X dress that sold pretty well. And then I don't usually dabble too much in purses, but this one caught my attention. It was quite glittery and shiny, and it had Minnie on it. And let's see, were there other, let's see, yeah, there were some mini icon type things on the inside, but just a real cute purse for a mini collector. There was one little spot that I showed on. Here's the tag, yes. So this was authentic clothing from Disney, so that was real fun. And then fabric. One particular garage sale I went had a bunch of Beatrix Potter and such of baby fabric, and the lady said she had just freshly laundered it. So this was Beatrix Potter, and it had the alphabet in pink, and I had one that the letters were in blue, baby blue, so that one sold as well. And this was 44 inch by 71 inch, and it sold for $24.99. Here I have sold sheets that have ponies on them before, and this was just a Target brand Circle. I don't know if they still make this pattern, but it was just in really good shape and a really cute subject matter, so I thought that somebody would like it. So I sold the flat fitted and pillowcase for $24.99. And then this was a Betty Page. It was a 3XL dress, and actually, let me show you. Originally I took this picture on my dress form, and I did it without the belt, and it looked so plain, so I put the belt on it to help it shape it somewhat, and it still looked kind of plain. And then I found this photo on Pinterest, so I mentioned that this photo was a stock photo, but look at the difference between selling the dress from this photo and from that photo. I'm pretty sure that is why this sold as quickly as it did. That looks sharp. And I was amazed to find a stock photo that came in real sharp photo as well. And let's see, this was a Mary Englebright fabric panel, and there were 48 squares on this panel, and I sold that. And you know, I've heard that shipping is getting messed up, and this was a very light piece of fabric, and I don't remember shipping it off priority, but that was a little while ago. And then this, it's a suitability equestrian horse saddle pad and quarter sheet pattern, new uncut. A lot of things equestrian sell well, and I thought, who would want to make their own saddle pads and that sort of thing? But this did sell overnight, so that was a good thing. And then I found a Vera Bradley garment bag. This was a quite long one. I think it was almost 5 feet, and it was of a retired pattern. I had to look up and figure out what kind of style it was, and this took a little while, but it did sell. I brought the price down and the lady was quite happy with it. Okay, I saw these slippers and I could tell that they were quality, and they were made out of wool. And this brand is Haflinger, and they are boiled wool, and they have these cute little ribbon flowers on them, and they are a European size, and I actually was able to sell these for $35 plus shipping. And that was in March, so you know, winter was coming to an end, but somebody wanted those nice slippers. And then I was at Goodwill, and they had a bunch of these die cut wafer thin dies for really cheap, and if you craft at all, you know these are not cheap, and a lot of these are discontinued because Quick Cuts sold to Lifestyle Crafts, and so I was able to find a bunch of those that were new in the package. And this was a Saks Fifth Avenue silk wool scarf, and I couldn't really tell if it would be for a man or a woman, so I put both. It was just a really nice scarf, and I wasn't quite sure how to show it. I do have one of my pictures on kind of draping, but this kind of was able to show it in its best light. And then I have seen dogs playing poker, but this one is dogs playing billiard, and it was a vintage wall hanging, and I think it was like less than $5, and I was able to sell it for $50 plus shipping, and it went to a business where I wonder if he's not going to hang it on the walls of his office or in the business. This is, I had never heard of it. It didn't say leather, but it just really looked like good quality leather. Sherpani, and the style was Amelia backpack, and this took a while to sell as well, but really good quality. Okay, and this, I do sell a lot of curtains and valances, and this one actually was not branded. It looked like it was handmade, but the subject matter, I think, helped sell it. There are people that like to decorate kind of an Asian theme here with the crane and the pagodas, so I was able to sell those pretty well. And the Creative Memories, they are no longer in business. I had picked up 3 of the 7x7 page protectors, like 99 cents, and I looked them up because I do scrapbook, so I was going to keep some because I've been finding some of the Creative Memory albums in the thrift stores and use them myself, but when I looked them up and they were going for the price they were going for, I decided I did not need them that badly. So 36 total page protectors, 7x7 inch. I put it on auction because I wasn't quite sure where it was going to go, and I sold it for $35 plus shipping. Oh, now I lost my place. Let's see. Okay, here was a quilt topper. Handmade, 85 by 96 inches. Just beautiful. Now, I do not quilt, but I know that these can go for quite a bit of money. People like to quilt, and so this one, actually I had this listed for a while, and I think I had it for $49.99, and someone let me know what the pattern name was. They thought maybe it would help sell, and I really appreciate that when people are able to leave me comments. Sometimes the comments are not real nice, but sometimes they just say this is what the name of the pattern is, so I added it to the listing title, and it did sell within a couple days, so I'm sure it did not hurt the listing at all. Probably helped. So $45 for that. Oh, let's see. I have too many windows open. Okay, this was Thomas Kincaid wallpaper border, and called Barn. No, I'm not sure what the title or what the style name was, but this was new in the package, and I could kind of see through the package, and I wasn't quite sure what the pattern was. I couldn't find anything. This is what I could see of the pattern. I could tell it was a barn, and so I did find, after looking and looking and looking, a stock photo, and it looked like this was what it was, and then I just prayed that that is what I sold. But no, so 2 rolls of 15 feet each for $30. Okay, let's see. Pyrex sells really nicely. This was a real nice, it looked brand new. It was a rectangular covered dish, and it had a golden acorn type pattern. I'm not quite sure what the exact pattern name was called. 75 cents at a garage sale, and someone took it for $25 plus shipping. I wouldn't have mind keeping it if it hadn't sold. Okay, here's my infamous old bed sheet, and I know that vintage Mickey and Minnie Mouse sell, and this was prehistoric dinosaur. You see Mickey napping in a dinosaur and the cute images. I looked it up. There were none listed, but 2 had sold recently, and they were between $50 and $100 for those sheets. So I picked that up for about $3.50, and within a couple days sold it for $75. Okay, this is another thing that I learned, and I did mention this in one of my videos. This was she was 12.5 inches, kind of like a Barbie, real firm plastic, kind of like a Barbie feel to her, and she was filthy. But she was $2, Marilyn Monroe, and I know a lot of people collect her, and I thought, well, I can just sell her, not too much, being that she is so dirty, and let someone clean it up. But I thought, you know what, I have nothing to lose. So I put her in the little mixture of OxyClean and warm water, and literally within 30 seconds the dirt just kind of melted off of her, and the dress that had been dirty, it just came out so nicely. I was so pleased. So that, and actually it says 80, I took a best off for a 50, and I looked up the gentleman that made the offer, and he takes these and he paints on them and makes their faces look like the photograph of a person. Is so vivid their facial features, and sometimes makes costumes for the dolls and turns around and sells them for about $500. Okay, here's another curtain that looked like it was handmade, but it had neat subject matter. It was these old vintage sports themes, and this did take a little while as well to sell, but so I sold 2 panels for $35, and these were pretty heavy and bulky to ship. Okay, a Right in the Rain binder. I had never heard of these, but you take these when you are hiking, bird watching, and all the paper is like it's waterproof or water repellent, and this had all the papers in it. It had a pen that's supposedly supposed to be able to write in rain, and some poly accessory refill pack. So I picked this up for $3 and sold it for $40. Okay, the Lego system. I went to a garage sale, and they were I heard them say something about having to pay mom's property taxes, and so they were just having a bag sale, and I started putting things in and saw this, just a little, I don't know, this was probably 4 by 6 inch box of Legos. It had a Target clearance sticker on it. I forget what year this was, from the 90s, 97, 92, I can't quite remember. But I looked it up, and there was one actually listed for $249, but I listed mine for $50 and took a best offer of $35. And it had like 63 pieces of Legos. So that's 50 cents a piece for those little Legos. Go figure. Fabric. I love selling fabric. This is a really pretty, it was a Waverly, so it was a good brand name. And again, the subject matter is kind of a French toile fabric. It was a nice like canvas weight, good for upholstery, curtains. And this bag, this was quite a big bag. It was like almost a piece of luggage, and I had gotten it at Goodwill for the tag sale of $1.99, and I had this for quite some time and relisted it a few times, and just, it wasn't in the best shape, but it wasn't in bad shape for how old it looked to be, and it was leather. But somebody offered, no, I sold it for $80, and it went to some kind of a museum. So I am glad that it became part of history in a museum, and the guy left me feedback and said that it had wonderful patina. Okay, I just picked, these are just prints. I picked them up on a whim. There were actually 2 of them, and it had a painted signature, and then above the painted signature was a pen printed signature, like the author actually, or the painter actually wrote on the print, and they were like $1.50 each. And within a couple hours, less than a couple hours of listing this, I sold one, and for $30, and I have not sold the other one, and I think I'm going to keep it because my husband thinks it's a neat photo. It probably will be a self-portrait someday. And again, more Waverly valances. These usually sell pretty well. I had three panels. Usually you sell them in sets of 2, but I had 3, so I put them up and sold them individually in one listing, and someone bought all 3. And again, plus size. This was a lightweight cotton pajama, 3X, and it was brand new with tags. So I was able to sell that for $30 for my $4 investment. Let's see, I think I'm about done. Zoot suit costume patterns. I've sold a couple of these, and this one was a 46 to 52 men's size. So I have more of these to list. I thought, Halloween probably would be a better time to sell these, but I did sell 2 in March, so excuse me. And Lisa Frank, this is kind of funny. This was my daughter's. She had written on it with Sharpie. I have a remover that removes Sharpie. You couldn't even tell that it had been written on. It looked like it was brand new. And so since my girls are out of the house, I thought, well, Lisa Frank sells, I'll try. So I sold it for $20 over Easter weekend. And the funny thing is, I was with my daughters when the ka-ching came across, and I said, oh dear. And I said, I just sold one of your old 3-ring binders from school. Okay, I think that is it. The ones that I have selected to show you. So that is some items from the last couple months, and it has been slow lately, but with the amount of items that I have in my shop, or I actually don't even have a store, I sell pretty well. So going out and getting the things at garage sales, and hope to be ramping up for when school starts, I have a lot of planners to sell, a lot of like Franklin Covey, almost brand new looking planners that I hope all sell.